The theme before us poses a direct and uncomfortable question. Is there enough youth empowerment? From where I stand, from my community in Asante Asaman, I'm happy to see my regional minister here. And from my travels across the nation, the answer is clear and it's sobering. The answer is no. Yes, we have policies, we have initiatives, we have speeches filled with passion, but the truth still remains. There is still a vast gap between the promise and practice, between education and employment, between ambition. Our young people are not lazy at all. They are not with no bridges to the mainland of opportunity. And so today, I do not come simply to lament. I come to propose a new path, a bridge, a bold, practical, and actionable solution that moves us beyond talk into the realm of transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, I call this path the Integrated Economic Patriotism Framework, a framework that builds or that binds together government, the private sector, and our traditional institutions into one unified ecosystem of empowerment. The reality is that our current approach is broken. Too often, programs are supply-driven, designed for the youth, but without their direct voice. Too often, our institutions work in silo. The government here, the business or the private sector there, and chiefs elsewhere, never truly in partnership. Too often, the focus is on the short term, on training without sustainability, or on loans without mentorship. And tragically, we are still preparing our youth by the economy of yesterday instead of the economy of tomorrow. This new framework turns that on its head. It is anchored on the belief that empowerment must be holistic, digital, traditional, financial, futuristic, and ethical. It begins with what I call patriotism portal, a single national digital platform that uses artificial intelligence to match every tertiary and technical student with mandatory 6-month internships. This is not a suggestion. It will be a requirement for graduation. On this same platform, reverse mentorship will take place. Young innovators mentoring established CEOs in digital transformation, while those CEOs in turn mentor the youth in leadership and management. It is a two-way bridge of respect and learning. Ladies and gentlemen, it continues with what I call Chiefdom Enterprise Challenge, where every chief across Ghana dedicates land to establish what I call Economic Patriotism Zone. In these zones, government provides infrastructure, private businesses co-invest the facilities, and the youth organized in cooperatives use those spaces to transform raw materials into finished product, where we have cocoa converting to chocolate, cashew package, where local crafts become high value add for global market. We are talking about a real industry built and for our youth in the community. But no vision is completely without financing. And so we introduce what we call Patriotism Equity Fund, a pool created by contribution from corporate profits and much government. Unlike loans that burden and grants that create dependency, this fund will take equity stake in promising youth-led enterprises. It means that when the youth succeed, the funds grows, ensuring sustainable cycle of wealth creation and reinvestment. Ladies and gentlemen, we must face this tidal wave of artificial intelligence. To ignore it is to bury our heads into the sand. Through an AI apprenticeship corridor, we will partner with global tech giants to ensure every Ghanaian graduate, whether scientist, farmer, or a designer, can apply AI in their field. And instead of universal basic income, which risks dependency, I propose what we call universal basic opportunity. This means that every youth receive an annual credit, not as cash, but as a voucher for training, healthcare, or seed capital. It is not a handout. It is an investment in human capital. Yet, all this rests on a foundation that is called moral and ethical. We cannot empower without character. And so the final pillar of the framework is called the pillar of ethical foundation and national character. Access to the system will be tied to patriotism certification. We organize models in integrity, environmental stewardship, service, and national pride. Businesses that operate ethically will be given competitive advantage. In this way, we shape not only successful entrepreneurs, but responsible national builders. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the architecture of true empowerment. But I cannot build alone, or we cannot do it alone. We need government, so government must legislate, facilitate, and provide the enabling environment. The private sector must open the doors, invest, and contribute to the equity fund. My fellow traditional leaders must release our lands for our national cause. And the youth must rise to the occasion, embracing discipline, professionalism, innovation, while holding us accountable to delivery. The question, therefore, is not whether we have enough empowerment. The question is transformation. Let us leave this hall today with more than words. Let us leave with a covenant to work together to build a Ghana where every young man or young person rises not to search for job, but to create opportunity, enterprise, and prosperity for all. Ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I accept to be your chair for this occasion. Thank you very much.